If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Donald Trump has the worst lawyers in America. And to bolster that claim, this week, one of his attorneys, who, as reports have said, is driving all of his other attorneys crazy, Alina Habba, decided to go on Fox News and accidentally, possibly implicate herself in criminal activity along with Donald Trump's other lawyers. That's how bad of a lawyer she is. She goes on Fox to defend her client and opens herself up for possibly being charged with obstruction of justice. Here's what happened. Alina Habba was, of course, invited on Fox News to talk about the DOJ's filing, most specifically the picture of the documents all over the floor that was in that court filing. And Habba defended this by saying, I don't want to put words in her mouth. I will read her exact quote. I do have firsthand knowledge, as you know. I've been down there. I'm down there frequently. I have never seen that. I have never, ever seen that. That is not the way his office looks. Anybody that knows President Trump's office, he has guests frequently there. It's just a joke. Okay. All right. That where you want to go with it. So let's talk about the statement you just made. You're trying to say that Donald Trump did not have documents on the floor because that's the important part of it. Like, not that he had illegally the documents, but that they were on the floor. Like, that's where they wanted to argue all week. Like, they weren't on the floor. So his lawyer says they were not on the floor. I have firsthand knowledge. They were neatly put away. That's not what his office looks like. There's always people down there, so you know we keep it nice. Two big problems with that. On June 3rd, one of Donald Trump's lawyers, Evan Corcoran, wrote I don't know if you'd call it an affidavit or whatever it is. It was a binding legal document to the FBI and the DOJ. And on June 3rd, that binding legal document written by Donald Trump lawyer Evan Corcoran said that we have now turned over every single document that we have. There is nothing left here at Mar-a-Lago. And then that legal document was signed by one of Trump's other lawyers, Christina Bobb, verifying that, yep, you've got it all. So Alina Habba goes on TV and says, I was down there all the time. I knew what was there. This is not the way it looked. Okay, so you may have just admitted that June 3rd sworn letter to the DOJ was a lie. In that case, if those are the facts, you've just admitted to obstruction of justice, not just for you, but for Evan Corcoran and Christina Bobb. All three of you, again, if those facts are the way I've laid them out, you all should and could be charged with obstruction of justice. That's issue number one. Issue number two is the fact that, let's assume when she says I have firsthand knowledge, she was referring to the time prior to June 3rd. Because that is the other possibility. If she's talking about before June 3rd, it was all nice, neat, put together. However, we know that's not the case because that photograph was taken on August 8th, August 6th, whenever the raid was. And she said she had been down there and they weren't like that. So she would have had to have been down there prior to that, shortly prior to that, to know that they weren't on the floor. So anyway, let's assume she is referring to time prior to June 3rd. Then what you've just admitted to instead is that Donald Trump likely did violate the Espionage Act because his other lawyer, Christina Bobb, again, has sworn up and down that nobody ever went down there where the documents were. They were safe. They were secure. You had to have the key card. Nobody got down there. They were under lock and key. There was never any unauthorized person there ever. And then Alina Haba comes out and says, oh yeah, people are down there all the time. Like, super big party. Everybody knows the after party's always in the basement, right? He has everybody coming and going. We don't even know who they are. Yep, that's probably going to end up pretty bad for the Espionage Act charges that your client is likely facing. Christina Bobb is not a good attorney. But, and that's just based on what I've seen from her. But Alina Haba is even worse. Like, Alina Haba makes Christina Bobb look like Clarence Darrow. That's how bad Alina Haba is. You went on TV and you either implicated yourself and the other lawyers in obstruction of justice, or, and possibly also, You blew a giant hole in your client's only possible defense. If Trump so chose, he could probably sue you for legal malpractice because you're that friggin' bad. But by all means, please keep talking Alina Habba. Please keep having her on TV, Fox News, and other conservative outlets, because she is making this just way too easy for the prosecutors. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.